I don't know if you guys are anything like me, but recently I've been wanting to get back into Wuthering Waves, but every single time I do, I am bombarded with events, different characters, what to work on, and I get overwhelmed to a point where I'm like, I don't want to do it because I just don't know where to start. And so far, when I logged in last night, I think whenever they did this, whatever quality of life update they had, they have nailed it. This is just a way to jump in and just be able to understand where your account is, where it needs to be, what you need to work on. And it's all streamlined. For somebody who just gets overwhelmed by seeing a lot of stuff, they've done such a good job in this. So I wanted to showcase it for you guys who are maybe on the fence about starting the game again, or maybe a little newer to the game or whatever have you, and show you what it looks like. So first and foremost, let's jump into events. This used to be a laundry list of stuff, bro. This used to be like miles long. And every time you logged in, you're like, okay, I get an idea of like, you know, the login. I can see what's going on with this one. I know what to do with that. But then they just had a list of stuff and you're like, I don't know what to prioritize. I don't have any idea. So this is a little tab that's a featured event. It gives you just a good idea, like your returning event. So if you're, you know, returning to the game, you do have a 7-day login. You have like this little mini battle pass you can do that gives you different stuff, like mostly just EXP stuff and mats and materials to kind of get your account going. And then they have like all kinds of different tabs here to show you kind of what's going on with the game. You know, who's the new character, what different like homecoming quests they have, just to give you an idea of like kind of what's going on currently with the game. And then they have a couple of other tabs that are like more of a permanent, like kind of to give you an idea like, hey, let's kind of start here, which is really cool. I think this is just kind of nice, dude. It gives you a nice little tab to understand everything. They have reoccurring events on here. These are obviously, if you've played this game, they're like the weeklies, the monthlies, the stuff that you kind of want to do to progress your account. And then they have their permanent events. So this used to be where everything was, basically. Not really the permanent events per se, but it used to be like miles long. And it was just like, damn, dude, I don't know where to start. And even some of these, I don't really know where to start. But at least I know that they're in a tab and I know they're permanent and I know that they're going to be here for a while. So then I know that I can kind of have some time to work on these. So I don't feel as overwhelmed when I jump in here and I'm like, oh, damn, I don't know when I should start these. When are these going to go? Like, what do I need to do? So I think this is a cool little tab feature that allows me to understand where I'm at with my account and kind of the stuff I should work on right now. And then some stuff I can obviously work on as I progress with my account because these are permanent. I don't have to worry about them being gone in the next week or so. The other thing I want to talk about was Resonators. So if you're anything like me and you're like, you get the new character, for example, if you jump on and you get lucky in your summons, you know, like I did with Zanny, I'm like, I don't know where to start with her. I haven't played it in a while. I don't even know what to do with her. You know, obviously Zanny was ages ago, but they have like the current, they have Lupa, they have the new character that's going to be coming out. And this is a breakdown essentially of what you need for materials, mats, and stuff you can grind. So if you're going for like this guy, for example, you understand like what you need to work on before he comes. This is just EXP stuff. This is like weapon EXP stuff. Echoes, skills. I think Echoes isn't here for him because he's not out yet, but they can give you an idea of like where to go, like what task it feels to jump onto and go through. It's like a quick menu. So even if you know what you need to get, you can still go into a quick menu, just go straight into it. It's super, super cool, dude. And then they give you like the echoes and they give you like, hey, these are who you should upgrade. Here's like who you should get. And speaking about what you should do and where you should do stuff, they've actually added this little guide depot. This is insane. So this is something that they used to do on PGR. I think they still do. I don't know why I said used to, but they do this thing where they give you a guide of like an idea of how to play the character, basically without having to go to a website. And this is so cool because it's really nice to have something like this where you can jump in and just play, like kind of look at it from here and see everything there is to see. And I've kind of looked at some of the different guide websites and it looks like this is following pretty close to like what they got going on. So you can see like your recommended teams, your recommended weapons, and like different things to like your main stats that you need to prioritize, you know, the recommended echoes. And let's just go to a character that I have, you know, for example, my girl here, and it gives you just like different teams. And then it'll also tell you, where's the spot that I wanted to show you guys, the different stuff for skill upgrades, priority. So then I know exactly like which ones I want to prioritize. Then it tells you also how to basically, I think it's in here somewhere. It's like a nice little thing of like guide details here. It's basically telling you the rotation, the optimal stuff for it. You can also go to these like separate tabs here. If you don't want to keep scrolling down, it'll tell you all the different stuff. You can also switch guides because there's different, sometimes, not always, but there's different like ways to play characters, obviously based on comps. And you can like check it and see, and you can also see who's liking it. So you're like, oh, this one only has 67. This one has 8,351. Okay, well, that gives me a good idea that this is probably the one I should go for right now. And then obviously as I play the character, maybe I'll get a better idea. So then I can kind of choose my own stuff. This is super cool, dude. I don't mind playing because I have 2 monitors, so I don't really mind looking at a different like screen while I'm doing this. But I think this could be such a cool thing for people who don't want to look at a different screen, or maybe don't have one and they don't want to have to tab back and forth. It's really cool to be able to see like who works with who and all that different stuff, especially because this gets updated. Like you're playing characters and you're like, oh, this new character came out. Do they work with so and so and such and such and stuff like that? And you can see how many people are liking it, how many people are engaging it. You can actually open it in a browser if you'd like. This will open it up off to the side here. And a little browser for you if you prefer it that way. Maybe it loads better. I'm not really sure. But I thought this was a nice little touch for people who want to see the guides, but you know, maybe don't want to go in and, you know, search for it and all that stuff. And like I said, from what I've seen anyway, looking at different guides, they're pretty accurate on like what they're telling you to build and what kind of team comps and stuff like that. So it does seem pretty like reputable, and it definitely seems like they're paying attention to what other people are doing. I don't really know how they get the data, but that's just something I found that was pretty interesting. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was actually in the story with these quests. Dude, I get so this is like where I get the most like overwhelmed, because it's like you just have so much stuff, dude, and you're like, I don't know what goes with what, dude. I have no idea what happens. And this happened with me when I was trying to play Genshin too. It's like, I know this is a main quest, but it's like, where is it at in the story? I don't even remember when I was playing. You can actually click this tab and it will tell you where these different parts take place. Okay, and then you can see like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I remember I was, you know, hanging out with this guy, and then I was doing this, and I was doing this, and then I can click this, and it'll give me an idea. Like, oh yeah, okay, I can read this real quick. I can remember doing this, and then I can remember where I'm at. You know, maybe I can click this, and I don't know. It like reminds me of where I was at with Zanny and the girls. So it's just like an interesting way to be able to see. Like, I think this might have been here for a minute. I kind of remember this, but it's cool to be able to see where you're at. And I think the fact that they're making these little quality of life stuff makes me want to play it more, because then I actually, oh, you can actually zoom out. It just makes me understand where I'm at more, you know. And it's just very, very interesting to be able to see the timeline, because on the story, dude, I was like, I don't know, I just want to play the main story. I don't know where the hell I'm at. So I think the quality of life here is just really nice to be able to jump in as a reoccurring player, or like somebody that's trying to return basically and get back into the swing of things, man, because there's a lot of stuff that obviously you just jump into these menus and maybe you remember how to do them, maybe you don't. But it's nice to be able to have like just these breakdowns of like where we're at and what we need to do. I just figured it'd be kind of nice to show you guys in case you are anything like me and you just get overwhelmed when you jump back into a game because of FOMO or whatever. I think it's a really nice way for this to be able to kind of give you different things to work on and just take little chunks out of the game to re-establish yourself with the world and kind of what's going on with it. But if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.